pulled a few weeks of the night shift once as part of a maintenance crew for a mental hospital. That, in of itself, is already creepy. The patients there weren't simply your run-of-the-mill adolescents who had depression issues who attempted suicide for attention and got locked up for 3 days or so. No, some of these people were absolutely fucking psychotic. Normally I did electrical work for various businesses and other places around town with the company I was working for. But once, we got hired out for this place for a time, and my god, some of the weirdest shit ever happened to me. At night, this place was locked down, like a prison pretty much. For a good reason obviously, but there were times where the power would go out, and we had to get it back up and running again. And I can tell you, it is a bad feeling when you're having to trust the light of your torch in pitch darkness in a building mainly full of people who can easily kill the fucking shit out of you in seconds. I remember one night in particular when the power went down. I was sitting in the maintenance shop. We had an actual shop because this place was that fucking big. And out of nowhere, the lights just blank right out, and I'm in pitch black darkness. I had been sitting by myself in there, dicking around and waiting for a call on the radio for something that needed fixing. Out of nowhere, my radio starts going off and belching out squelch noises and static, even though it was on the correct frequency. And I hear a loud crash from the other side of the shop. I'm holding my flashlight in a death grip at this point, and I'm about ready to kill the first motherfucker who wanted to come at me. This wasn't a place to fuck around in. I shined my light in the direction of the crash, and a large tool chest, the kind you'd find in mechanics garage, the big reddish orange chests, is knocked completely over, and the tools are lying all over the floor. At this point, I start hearing a metallic dragging sound across the shop floor, and I nope the fuck out of there. I could barely even see where the hell I was going, but I managed to get to the exit door, and I flew out of that son of a bitch. Mind you, I haven't said a word at this point aside from the instinctual "what the fuck" and such, and certainly nothing over my radio. I didn't even take it with me. I was in such a hurry to get out of there. I book it to the main building just as another member of the crew managed to reset the breaker and bring the lights back on. Our supervisor and the other members of the team are waiting in a lobby area, and I run up to them apologizing for being late. My boss tells me no biggie, he had just talked to me over the radio, like moments before I got there. That was impossible, because I didn't bring it with me. I started freaking the fuck out when it started to become clear that I wasn't the only person who was in the shop at the time. After noping and trying to keep my calm while telling this to my boss at the time, they initiate a security lockdown. They send the big goon squad fuckers over to the shop. The entire place was locked down tight. We couldn't even go back there until it was completely secure. Eventually, they come back and find nothing. No evidence anyone else was actually in there, and every patient was accounted for in their rooms. I didn't sleep very well after that, and it wasn't really the only weird thing to ever happen to me in there. That tool chest was solid. It couldn't have just fallen over on its own, with a very noticeable seismic activity going on, or with someone pushing with a very serious amount of force. When the fucker hit the ground, it sounded like the goddamn Hulk shoved it down a flight of stairs. And they found nothing. I'm honestly never going to forget that anytime soon. That's a feeling that doesn't easily leave you.